Breaking news, y'all. Errol the True Spence Jr. is officially picking Terence Bud Crawford to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez tonight for the super fight that we got that will be live streamed on Netflix. You dig what I'm saying? Errol Spence tweeted this on Twitter, which is now known as X. He said, FYI, which means for your information, I'm going for Crawford. Now, I'm shocked, man, because since Terence Bud Crawford beat Errol Spence, Terence Bud Crawford has been talking a lot of shit about Errol Spence, man. You know what I'm saying? He did an interview saying that he doesn't think that Errol Spence is a future Hall of Famer. He said that he knew that Errol Spence was going to be easy work. He said in another interview that Errol Spence wasn't his best opponent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm surprised that Errol Spence is picking the guy that beat the shit out of him, that's been talking shit about him, to beat Canelo, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. It seems like Terence Bud Crawford is ungrateful for Errol Spence giving him that fight. Like, for those that forgot, and it's crazy how quick boxing fans forget how big a fighter and how good a fighter was, man. Like, before the Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford fight, Errol Spence was the A side, right? He had the better pay-per-view numbers. I remember Errol Spence sold out the Dallas Cowboys arena. I think that's when he fought, it was either when he fought Ugas or I think it was when he fought Sean Porter. Yeah, he sold out the Dallas Cowboys arena, which was incredible. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence was the A side, man. And that's what took so long for the fight to happen, because the PBC and Al Heyman, they're like, listen, this ain't no 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? As far as the money, as far as the money that Errol and Terence were going to make, you know, they wanted it to be like a 55-45 split or something like that. Basically giving Errol Spence more money because he had better pay-per-view numbers than Terence Bud Crawford. And it's true, at that point in time, man, Terence Bud Crawford was not a star in boxing, right? He didn't have a big fan base, didn't sell pay-per-views. He was fighting for free on ESPN. Bob Arum was publicly talking about how Terence Bud Crawford doesn't sell pay-per-views and he's not a star and he needs to be more entertaining. He needs to talk more, because he just was not a big name in boxing. And even right now, like, even after beating Errol Spence, like, he's more well known. But I still don't think that Terence Bud Crawford is more popular than Errol Spence. I know Errol Spence hasn't fought in 2 years, but you know, when Errol Spence was doing this thing, man, he was a big name. He was on the pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Dude was beating up everybody, you know? And it's just crazy how after the loss, it's like the whole boxing community turned their back on Errol Spence. And the most ironic thing about that is, it's funny how boxing fans, like, they always complaining about not getting big fights when they won them. But then when one of the fighters loses that's undefeated, it's like they just throw their fans in the trash, bro. And I think boxing is one of the few sports that does that. You know, you look at basketball fans. LeBron James has been to the finals 10 times. He's lost 6 out of 4 times. And people still think LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. You feel me? You know, Kobe Bryant came up short in the finals, I think 2 or 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, their fans stay loyal to them. Their fans don't switch up on them. And I've seen so many Errol Spence fans, after he got his ass beat up by Terence Bud Crawford, they switched up on him. And even throughout all of that, Errol Spence is still picking Terence Bud Crawford to beat Canelo, man. That's how you just know Errol Spence is just cut from a different cloth. He's a real nigga. He's a real dude. He's not fake. He's not phony. Even after he's seen all of these boxing fans switch up on him and say that he should retire and he was never that good, and, you know, he's still standing on business and, you know, giving his honest opinion, man. So shout out to Errol Spence for that, man. I hope we see Errol Spence get back in the ring, man. There's rumors that he will be fighting Jermell Charlo early 2026 at 154 or 160. I think that's going to be a very interesting fight. Both of those fighters are coming off of layoffs. But we got the super fight tonight, man. Who y'all got winning this fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford, man? You know, this Errol Spence picking Bud, does that change your opinion? Errol Spence is him wanting Terence to win doesn't really mean anything to me, because Errol Spence has never been in a ring with Canelo. And remember, Errol Spence, He was the one that said he wanted to fight Canelo before Terence Buck Crawford even thought of fighting Canelo. Errol Spence was planning on moving up to Canelo's weight class and fighting him, man. But yeah, man, Errol's never been in the ring with Canelo. So I'm still sticking with my pick for Canelo. I got Canelo winning this fight by a majority decision. I think there's weight classes for a reason. I just can't see Terence Buck Crawford, after his performance against Majamov, moving up another 2 weight classes, fighting the best guy in that weight class who's undefeated, who has a steel chin, never been dropped, never been knocked out in his professional career. I just don't see Terence Buck Crawford winning this fight, man. If he does win, it'll definitely be by decision. And I could only see Terence Buck Crawford winning by a split decision. I wouldn't even give it a majority decision, because what y'all got to understand is when you're the face of boxing, right? When you bring in the most money for the sport of boxing, the judges are going to be on your side, because the judges don't want to hurt the sport of boxing. Like I said, Terence Buck Crawford is not a superstar in the sport of boxing. Terence Buck Crawford can't go to multiple different parts of America and he gets recognized. He's just not that popular. People only know Terence Crawford for whooping Errol Spence's ass. If he never would have fought Errol Spence, people wouldn't even know his name. Let's just call it what it is. Canelo Alvarez is a superstar. He has the whole country of Mexico behind him, right? He fought Floyd Mayweather, fought a lot of big names, fought Triple G 3 times. Has a lot of big name fights, man. He sells a lot of pay-per-views. You dig what I'm saying? So I just think that Terence Crawford has too many things going against him. You have the weight that's going against you. You got the judges that's going against you. There's going to be a lot of Mexicans in the arena for this fight. Y'all heard the weigh-in with all the Mexicans booing and shit, man. I mean, Terence Buck Crawford is going to have to really prove that he is just cut from a different cloth, similar to guys like Michael Jordan and goddamn Kobe, Tom Brady, Usain Bolt. He has to show that he's that kind of athlete that just can flip that switch on no matter what the circumstance is and win by any means, man. This is a chance for Terence Buck Crawford to really prove that he's just as great as a guy like Floyd Mayweather, who retired undefeated at 50-0. Fought, I think, 23 or 24 world champions, has the all-time record for fighting the most champions and never lost, man. So that's my prediction. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, and most importantly, leave a comment. I'm out.